everybody, the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Sugar and Grunge Eyeshadow Palette has come in the mail, and I am so excited to play with this, to swatch it, to experiment, and just to see what we can create. So if you are just as excited as I am to see what this palette looks like and how it performs, stay exactly where you are because we're getting into it right now. So this palette has 24 shades for the 90s sweetheart, and I'm living for that. I was born in 1990, so that means I'm 27 every year, but I grew up in the 90s. So this palette is speaking to my heart and the inner nostalgia in it. I've had it for a few days now. I've just been so busy and had a couple of deadlines that I had to meet that I hadn't had the opportunity to open it and look at it. I've seen plenty of pictures online, but nothing in person yet, so this will be a first. And I swear, every time Blend Bunny comes out with another palette, I always think like, how can you do anything more than what you've done? Because there's so many palettes that have so many color stories and they always have variety. So it's like, how can you possibly keep adding to that? But yet again, she does it. I don't know how, but she does. Oh, this is so fun. So here's the palette in all of its gorgeous, colorful glory. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, we've got to zoom in and see the swatches. The first shade is the shade Skater Girl. Sweetheart. Candy. Baby T. Payphone. Ironic. It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you're already late. It's a good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figured? Flannel. Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated? I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else gets me frustrated. Life's like you see when you fall and you grow. Baggy jeans. Detention. Mixtape. $19.95. Drew. Runaway. Teen Spirit. Moody. Combat Boots. Garage Band. Grungy. Jawbreaker. Don't Speak. Butterfly. Prom Queen. And Bubblegum. And there are all 24 shades from the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Sugar and Grunge Eyeshadow Palette. As always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here, and one without flash here. And of course, we can't forget the video close-up so you can see everything in detail. Okay, you guys, now to figure out what to do. There are literally so many directions we could go. We could go completely just nude and wearable with this palette. We could go grungy and like all gray and make it really smoky and add just a little bit of color in, or no color in. We could add all of the colors in and just have like a pastel rainbow. There are just so many options. And I love how she sticks with keeping everything color coded in columns. So you've literally got like 6 pre-made looks here with each column. The only one that kind of throws me off, although I would still use it and love it, no, the only 2 that throw me off, although I would still use it and love it, are these 2, because you've got all grays and all greens, but with an orange and a pink shimmer. That's not to say the orange won't work well with the grays and the pink work well with the greens. I just usually see the same color at the bottom, but her other palettes do already have the shimmer versions of those kinds of shades, so I get it. I guess I'm gonna start with the shade Teen Spirit. I kind of want to use Teen Spirit, baggy jeans, 1995, ironic, flannel, and skater girl all in one look. I just don't really know how yet specifically. I'm sure I'll figure it out as I go. This shade is super dark as well, so I'm gonna try to keep it just in the crease on the inner half of the eye and then blend it into another shade on the outside. So I'm gonna try to keep it as low as possible. Ugh. And as always, the pigment is rich immediately. And starting out, we're just stamping that color on, kind of defining the shape that I want. Now I'm gonna use the same stamping method on the outer half of the crease using the shade Garage Band. To start blending out the inner half of the crease, I'm now going into baggy jeans. And of course, I'm using the 50-50 method to place half of the pigment onto the tacky base and half of the pigment over the previous shade. Again, I'm only sticking with this on the inner half of the crease because I'm gonna blend out that darker green with the consecutive color that goes with it. Honestly, I think these shadows are so pigmented, you could mix them with a white foundation and use them as face paint. I mean, even adding the tiny bit that I did to this inner corner, you can clearly see the difference between that lighter green and the darker green. It's just so vivid. I just don't understand how she gets this so perfect every time. Like, where's the dud? By the way, if you guys like the Primal palette, if you don't know what it looks like or haven't seen any reviews of it, I'll leave it linked up here so you can see. But if you like that palette and you want to get one, I think the website has like 18 left or 13 left or something like that. But get it while you can, because that palette is unfortunately being decommissioned. So take the opportunity now. Now we get to blend out the outer half of the crease, and I'm going to use the shade 1995. As you can tell, I'm just sticking with the same columns, you know, Teen Spirit, Garage Band, baggy jeans, 1995, and based on that logic, you can assume I'm also going to use Candy and Ironic. Finally, at least some kind of plan is coming together. So, 50-50 method, stamping right above Garage Band. Ooh, hey, those on the outside are like perfect camo colors. I didn't really voice this before while I was blending the inner corner shade, but I'm also, once I finish the stamping, taking the very tip of the brush and just very, very lightly blending out the border of the shade. That way I just get a softer blend between each shade and I don't have a really harsh line. Now we get to use the very lightest shade for the inner corner, and I love this color. I'm actually really excited to use it, but it's the shade Candy right up here, this like light minty, tealy pastel blue. Of course, you already know the 50-50 method yet again, but this time I don't really have to worry about blowing the shade out too much because I want it to be blown out too much. Oh, look at how gorgeous that shade is. It's so bright. And I didn't even use a white eyeshadow base. I just used Fair. I swear I have the most fun using Blend Bunny palettes. Just because it's like one of the only brands that give you fun, bright, bold varieties of colors that you can play with. And that's what I love to do. Unless I'm using makeup specifically for corrective purposes, and then bright and colorful really isn't what I need. No, I'm literally just tickling my skin with this brush, just barely buffing that color forward, just so I get that nice soft gradient between the really rich pigmented pastel shade and more of like a smoky white blue. Okay, so obviously the light blue is built up. Now I'm just gonna go back in with baggy jeans a little tiny bit and make sure that I re-emphasize the area that it's at and blend it a little bit into the lighter blue. This is just finessing that blend, you know, softening everything up, make sure it's seamless, no harsh lines, and all shades are as pigmented as possible. Speaking of all this blending, would you guys want a video where I show you the full blending process and and I don't cut out everything, because I'll be honest, it takes me a long time to blend out eyeshadow, but it's because I'm a little OCD and a perfectionist, so I just like to, blend out, rebuild, until it's exactly what I want. But let me know if that's something you would be interested in. I'd be more than happy to upload a full-length version of that process. Not every time, but one, if you guys wanted it. Now the shade I am most excited about, this super bright, gorgeous green Ironic. And she is gonna be brow bone all the way. Oh, that's so fun! Look at that color! Ah! Super cute. Super cute. It reminds me of something that I can't quite put my finger on. Maybe I'll think of it before the end of the video. I think it's that it reminds me of the Nickelodeon slime, like Splat slime. I think that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from that. Not gonna lie, I kind of miss the 90s. Or at least watching shows like Real Monsters, Doug, Rocko's Modern Life, Ren and Stimpy, Clarissa Explains It All. I don't remember, were the plastic bracelets, the ones that always had special meanings, was that 90s or was that early 2000s? I don't remember. Oh, and of course Rugrats. How could I have forgotten Rugrats? And Furbies. Oh, I loved my Furby. I don't remember what its name was, but I do remember I was living with my great-grandmother at the time, and I had a stool beside the couch that I slept on, and my Furby would sleep on the couch, and we would snore together. Those were the days. And Tamagotchis. Did you guys ever have a Tamagotchi? I did. I had a cute little T-Rex, and he pooped all the time. Like, all the time. But I did get him to grow into a full-grown T-Rex before he died. Then I think the batteries ran out and I just never started over again. Honestly, I kind of wonder where that is now. I did not realize that Beauty and the Beast came out in 1991, Aladdin in 1992, and The Lion King in 1994. The 90s were the best. And Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was published. I feel like we just need to get our pop culture back to the 90s. Then the world will be okay again. Okay, so I'm thoroughly enjoying building this shade up, but I really think I need to stop. Now all that's left to do is work on the blend between 1995 and Ironic. Don't you think? Alas, it is time to cut the crease, and I'm gonna use some Vaseline and an angled flat brush and use that to cut it out so I can stay a little more detailed this time. I feel like sometimes just using micellar water and a pointed cotton swab, I end up getting not quite as clean of lines as I would like, and I just really want this look to be good, like really good. So hopefully it will be. Okay, I think I'm finally happy with the shape that I've cut out. I think this will be fun once it's done, especially if I'm gonna go in with some pink. I'm just not gonna have a whole lot of room to be able to add shimmer. Now that the crease has been cut, I'm gonna start filling it. For the inner part of the lid, I'm probably gonna go in with a shimmer afterward, but I wanna start with the mattes because there's just so many that I've got a lot of options. So I'm gonna start with the shade Baby T. And moving right down the line, I'm going in with Detention next. And finally, for the last matte on the outer corner, going into the shade Moody. I didn't really intend to go down the purple section, but I guess we're here now. And Moody is gonna be the shade that I end the lid on. Well, maybe. I might still put a shimmer over the top of maybe the center, or I don't know exactly, but it's the end of the mattes on the lid. That is now the entire look almost done. All I wanna do now is add in the shade Jawbreaker, just super lightly over the top of the purple. I don't even really want it to cover the purple. I just want it to add some of that glistening shimmeriness on top of the purple. So I'm hoping that I can do that without it changing really the color too much. I can't really tell if you guys can see what's happening on the lid, but it's literally doing exactly what I wanted it to do. It's just adding some of the particles of glitter on top of the blend that I've already made, so it's sort of adding that shimmeriness, but not disrupting the color underneath, and that's exactly what I wanted. Alright, so that is it for the tutorial portion of the video. Give me just a second to go off camera, finish off all of my other face makeup, and I'll come back with a finished look. You guys, we are now back with the finished look, and I'm in love. I am so in love. Look at how cute that is. The green with the purple, with the pink, with the blue, and I even used some purple and pink on the lower lash line so that I could kind of blend in with the blush and match the lid as well. I just love this. And I think that all possibilities that I get out of this palette I will also love, because all the shades are just beautiful. And of course, it is the Blend Bunny Cosmetics formula. It's consistently pigmented and super blendable, and I just love it. But what do you guys think of the look? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions about the Sugar and Grunge palette. Is this one your favorite? Is one of the previous ones your favorite? Let's talk about it. I'm curious to know. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up just to let me know that you did. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!